Did you know that a U.S. president once tried to protect South Africa's apartheid regime? But even his own party said, no way. This is the story of how Republicans and Democrats united to stand against racism. How Reagan was forced to back down. The 1980s. South Africa's apartheid government was brutally oppressing black citizens. The world was watching, and the pressure was growing. Many countries had already imposed sanctions, but the United States, not yet. Why? Because President Ronald Reagan refused to take a hard stance. Instead, he supported a policy called constructive engagement. Basically, soft diplomacy with the apartheid regime instead of economic pressure. But here sets the twist. Even members of his own Republican Party were starting to say, enough is enough. In 1986, the U.S. Congress introduced the Comprehensive Anti-Apartheid Act, which would impose tough sanctions on South Africa. This meant cutting off new U.S. investments, banning South African imports like gold and coal, ending direct U.S. aid to the apartheid regime. The bill passed with strong support, but Reagan wasn't having it. He vetoed it, calling it economic warfare. But then, something unprecedented happened. The first time in the 20th century, Congress overrode a presidential veto on a foreign policy issue. The House and Senate, including many Republicans, stood against Reagan and apartheid. The final vote? Senate, 78 to 21, House, 313 to 83. This meant sanctions became law. Despite Reagan's objections, it was a crushing defeat for him and a massive victory for the anti-apartheid movement. These sanctions put immense pressure on South Africa. Protests intensified. The economy struggled. And just 4 years later, Nelson Mandela walked free. By 1994, apartheid had collapsed, and South Africa held its first democratic elections. So, why don't we hear much about this? Well, in case you did not know, history isn't just about what happened, it's about who controls the story. If you didn't know this before, now you do. Share this, and let's make sure history is told the right way.